Hello, loves. Pastor Megan here. Glad to have you back again with me for this three-part series on occasions for celebration. A reminder that no matter the church of your membership, the form of your baptism, wherever you are on the journey with God, there is a place for you here at this table because it's God's table. So pull up a chair and come to the table. We'll get started with our breath prayer today. Just a great way to slow down, get settled, arrive here, and dig a little deeper. Maybe even feel God's presence. So go ahead and get those feet flat on the floor, sitting up nice and tall. Close your eyes. Just start noticing your breathing. And slowly let it get deeper and deeper. Take one more deep breath, the deepest you've maybe taken all day so far. Let your belly be really soft. Let your breath expand all four sides of your abdomen. And then sigh it out like a true sigh. Open your eyes. So we're in the second of our three-part series on occasions for celebration in Luke chapter 15. This could also be called the Lost series because it's a series of stories about lost things or people. And the first video was about the lost sheep. So a shepherd had 100 sheep. He noticed one was missing and he leaves the 99 to go find the one. When he finds it, there's great extravagant rejoicing. And as we go through these next verses, I want you to listen for some of the similarities in this story for today. Or what woman, if she owns 10 silver coins and loses one of them, won't light a lamp and sweep the house, searching her home carefully until she finds it? When she finds it, she calls together her friends and neighbors, saying, "Celebrate with me because I found my lost coin." In the same way, I tell you, joy breaks out in the presence of God's angels over one sinner who changes both heart and life. Okay, so just like in the first story, we are acknowledging that Luke is connecting these stories to repentance, turning back to God, receiving forgiveness, and being restored to new life. Author and scholar Amy Jill Levine, she has a different take on it, and I'm really enjoying the way that it gets us thinking in some new directions. So we're going to acknowledge that that's what Luke says this means, and we're going to set that aside, and then we're going to dig in and see what other meaning bubbles up, because that's the cool part about the Bible. It's a living word, which means that while the words stay the same on the page, the way the Spirit moves and brings us new insight and new knowledge and new understanding means that stories can sound brand new, even if we've heard them 100 times before, because of the way someone introduces a new thought or a new way of hearing or something else like that. I love the way that the Spirit moves, in those ways. And so I'm excited to keep digging into this with you. Okay, so a woman has 10 silver coins. When I think of this, I automatically think of like quarters, because I have no concept of a silver coin beyond that. I mean, I know they exist, but like, doesn't feel like a lot to me. But the reality is that it was a significant amount of money. And so this woman is by no means marginal or outcast or poor, like some interpretations kind of place her in that realm. She has her own home. She has her own money. She has her own set of friends. She's a powerful woman, which is cool. So just like that first parable that we read about the sheep, this one has the same themes of loss and searching, completion, and joy, right? All packed into just a few verses. They're kind of like twin parables. So her silver coin collection is incomplete with only 9 coins. But of course, at first glance, let's go back to my idea of quarters. If you have a stack of 10 quarters and you lose one, it's kind of hard to tell without going through and counting those quarters, right? It's just, at a glance, it's hard to discern. So the woman counted just like the shepherd did, and she realized that one was missing, and like the shepherd, she goes all out in her search. She lights a lamp, she sweeps everything. There is nothing that is not moved or picked up or swept under to find this coin, to make this collection complete. And then when she finds the coin, she experiences that same thrill of joy that the shepherd did when he found his sheep. And she has another extravagant reaction, like the shepherd did. She calls her friends and says, "Come and have a party." Now, I know that I have preached this before, that she uses that lost coin to fund the party. Friends, I think she has enough money where she doesn't need to use the lost coin to fund the party. Like, reading it again now with Amy Jill Levine's expertise, like, she's got some other money to use. She's not using her last lost coin to fund this party, like I've preached before. So if you heard that sermon, I've changed my mind. Okay. So she shares the joy with all her friends and neighbors. She hosts a party. Now, there's a couple of differences that are really helpful as we're both looking back at the parable about the sheep and as we're looking forward to our next parable, which you'll find out about in our third video. So in that first parable, the shepherd doesn't claim responsibility, remember? He just says, "I found the sheep that was lost," right? He doesn't say, "I found the sheep that I lost," or whatever. He just says, "I found the sheep. Come and have a party." But the woman, when she invites her friends, she says, "Come and celebrate the one that I had lost. I have found the one that I had lost," right? So it's a really small shift in the way the story is told, but it's really, really important as we reflect on these stories. Because here we are once again provoked. All that thinking you did last time about who's missing, who's present, and who is not. Have we taken time to look around and see if the people whose presence we were counting on was really there, or if we just assumed and then they weren't. There's all sorts of ways that places we could be coming to this today. But here's a new thought for us together. So we can celebrate when what we have lost has been found, right? Like the shepherd and his friends celebrating with the sheep. And like the woman with the coin today. But can we be like the woman and admit our own responsibility in the losing? And I think this is really powerful as if you are a member of a church congregation or a church community, and if you start to take these questions to your leadership, and you start asking or talking with your leadership and saying, hey, like, I've looked around and gosh, we got a lot of white people here. Or all the families kind of look the same. There's a mom, a dad, a couple of kids, maybe a dog. Or we all live in the same neighborhood or subdivision. There's not a lot of diversity of wealth within our community, or whatever it is, right? Or maybe, gosh, here's a difficult one. Maybe it's not a general category like that, that we automatically jump to in terms of social justice. What if we look around and we discover that somebody who had been part of our congregation for many, many years hasn't been around for a few weeks, maybe even a few months? Where'd they go? What happened? Why did they stop coming? And when we reach out, first be brave and reach out and ask, what if they say, so-and-so said this thing and it really hurt my feelings? Or, pastor said this thing in their sermon and I don't agree with that. And I didn't know what else to do. Or this Bible study was really hurtful because it said some things about God that went against who I am. We don't like to hear those things. Ugh, I don't like to hear those things. But can we as the church take responsibility for when we've hurt each other? When we've hurt our brothers and sisters who don't think like us or believe the same things? Can we take responsibility when people tell us that we've hurt them by how our theology treats various social issues or how we have or have not stood up for particular things? It's hard. It's hard to take that responsibility. It's hard to say, yes, I'm part of that problem. But I think it might lead to celebration, ultimately. As we think about abundant life for ourselves and for our neighbors and what this joyous celebration might look like, I think it's really important that we take a hard look at what these first two parables are asking of us. To take stock. Who's here? Who's not here? Why? And then take responsibility. Say, I'm sorry. Say, I didn't know that was hurtful. I promise to do better next time. To say, tell me why that was hurtful. I want to understand your perspective. And I think as we practice this, we'll find lots of opportunities for celebration together. Not because we've gone out to find the poor and the outcast and the marginalized, but because we have come to see our own role in how and why people get lost. Okay. That turned into a big sermon. Today's blessing is from John O'Donohue to bless the space between us. Now is the time to free the heart. Let all intentions and worries stop. Free the joy inside the self. Awaken to the wonder of your life. Open your eyes and see the friends whose hearts recognize your face as kin. Those whose kindness, watchful and near, encourages you to live everything here. See the gifts the years have given, things your effort could never earn, the health to enjoy who you want to be, and the mind to mirror mystery. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next time.